Hi again, everybody. Rob Kennedy from the Hoop Group, and once again we're talking recruiting. Last week was a big week, especially in college basketball, the early signing period. So much attention given. Guys who worked really hard, and congratulations if you were able to find the right fit and sign a letter of intent. It's awesome. Great accomplishment. It's just the start of your college basketball career, right? And it's not the end of your high school basketball career yet, but something to be really proud of. But I want to talk to the rest of you seniors, the majority of people out there, guys and girls who are going to be Division II or Division III players, or Division I players who just didn't find the right fit yet and didn't find the right spot. The most important thing, don't panic. And there's nothing wrong with not signing early. Matter of fact, the majority of college basketball players don't sign early, don't know right now in November, December, January, even into February, where they're going to be going, where they're going to be going to school, where they're going to have the opportunity to continue not only their education, but their playing career. So that's the first and most important thing, not just for the players, but especially for parents. Moms and dads, don't panic, relax. The worst thing you want to do is put more pressure on your son or daughter about what's going on in the recruiting process. This is a time where you need to take a breath as well and be able to back them up with what's going on. First and foremost now is the start of the high school basketball season. In some states it's already here, in other states it's just around the corner. The first thing that you got to understand is that the high school basketball season is still the most important thing to you as a player right now. So you've got to be focused in and not have your head be worrying about the recruiting stuff. You've got to be in a good mental state so that you're worrying about the number one thing. How are you going to have a good season? Having a good season is going to help you more in the recruiting process than pretty much anything you can do at this point in time. The second thing that you've got to do right now, after concentrating and making sure that you're playing well, is reassess. Reassess who's really recruiting you, right? People have fallen off. They signed somebody else. They realize that maybe they can get a better player, or they all of a sudden, haven't seen you in a while. Who's really recruiting you? And then the second thing is, where can I realistically get in? A lot of players have put in applications all over the place so far, right? Some people trying to go early action, early decision, some great academic Division IIs, IIIs, Is, doesn't matter. Where you're at, you've got to make sure that you are realistic about where you're going to be able to get into. Has that coach gone and gotten a read from the admissions director about whether or not you're an acceptable student? Make sure that you know that as well before you get going and put the cart before the horse, and now all of a sudden get your heart set on a certain place, and then you end up not getting accepted. And the last thing that you've got to make sure that you're doing as well is, are there any deadlines that I've missed? Are there any, if you're going to try to get into one of the service academies, it don't matter if you're the best player in the country. If you don't have certain paperwork in by a certain time, it does not matter. You are not getting in. If you don't have that nomination from your senator or your congressman. So that's one example. And there's a million paper deadlines that certain schools aren't going to budge on, no matter how good of a player you are. So make sure you've got all of that under control. For all of you players and parents who are underclassmen or the parents of an underclassman, we'll talk next week about what you should be doing right now as we head into the start of high school basketball season to make sure that you're on track as well. As always, thanks again for listening. If you've got any questions, comments, email me at robk@hoopgroup.com.